was reading about the ancient concepts of fine, okay? These are one of the things that we escape because of the oppression. And it's kind of fucked up, okay? But that's why it's, like, important to know everything. You have to have a broad spectrum knowledge of really what's going on. And you really have to know that, like, everything is predicated on the contracts. And, like, they sneak that in there in little ways by, like, mentioning if somebody's an infant, okay? Because that means that they're, like, too stupid to contract or be held to the contract or whatever. But that's where they did have capital D doing. So that reinforces, my thing about the doing versus the not doing. But it just makes sense. But anyway, yeah, that was in there. Maybe I read it somewhere else. I don't know. But yeah, so you definitely have to be doing something wrong. There definitely has to be a contract that's in violation. So otherwise, you're still just a freaking pirate. Like, that's stupid. So you have to know that consent makes the law, the contract makes the law, the agreement is the law of the parties. And while it's like not every definition, it's gonna like lay out every single point that you have to know for it to make sense. But it's always in there. But it's like sneaky, like calling somebody an infant, which means they can't be held to the contract, obviously. That's another one of those prime examples where it's like the even more ancient maxim of a fine is the end of litigation. Then by like whatever time that comes into play, I think that was the early 1700s dictionary, so then they started to really exacerbate the concept of fine to mean like these grand thefts of property anyway. So that's another, they can't change the word, but they can change the definition.